Watch what's approaching, the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it?
What's good? So I just finished the grind for the Copy Vegeta unit, and it's actually pretty decent. Not really the best of units available as a free-to-play option, but nevertheless not too bad. Let's just go right into it and cover the stats, and we'll go into the actual unit details and gameplay. So again, this is the Extreme Agility Copy Vegeta free-to-play unit that's available in the story event for JP. Leader skill is Extreme Type plus 3 Ki. HP attack and defense increase of 40%. Super attack will cause supreme damage to enemy and also lowers attack and defense. The passive skill is where things get a little bit interesting. Attack and defense increase of 60%, plus an additional attack and defense increase of 30% up to 90% at the start of each turn. And all enemies attack and defense minus 30% when there is a Vegeta's Family category enemy. So even though the passive looks really nice, it's quite limited in terms of, you know, the scenarios that you typically would get the full benefit of this secondary passive. In terms of links, you're looking at Metamorphosis, that is recovery of 5% HP. Infighter is 10% increase to attack enemies defense minus 10%. Shocking speed is plus 2 Ki. Tough as nails 1500 to defense. More than meets the eye is 300 increase to attack. Prepared for battle is plus 2 Ki. And Shattering the limit is plus 2 Ki. This unit does fall into two categories: Transformation Boost and Artificial Lifeforms. The category team that you see on this video will be on the Transformation Boost. At 100% potential, you're looking at HP of 10,129, attack is 10,892, and defense is 6,746. 12 Ki Multiplier is 140%. Again, the passive skill is definitely very restricted to scenarios just when you're facing Vegeta's Family category type enemies. However, you know, still a decent enough passive where it could be applied in certain settings. Right now is a good option to have for the metal grind for the transforming Vegeta unit. However, I did want to kind of just test this out on a broad scenario against all types of units. You will see this unit linked up a lot with the Kid Buu and the Agility Final Form Cooler unit, just because I wanted to see this guy in the best case scenario boosted up to the maximum, see how his attack stats and damage potential as well as defensive capabilities are, because both of these units that he's being sandwiched within do provide both an attack and defense increase. So just wanted to see how well this guy can be under the best of circumstances, under the best category, basically. Like I said, you know, it would have been nicer if the passive skill wasn't so damn restricted just to Vegeta's Family category. You know, it would have been nice if it was like maybe like against super types or something like that. I get why they did what they did. You know, it's definitely a reflection of you know, this character's origins and whatnot, but you know, at the same time, it definitely does make things a little bit limited. At least, you know, keep it, I don't know, it's just hard to say. You know, it would have been nice to really get that maximum boost in every occasion, but you know, it's a free-to-play unit at the end of the day, so I get why they did what they did in terms of, you know, applying the restrictions, but you know, again, it would have been a little bit nicer if it was a bit more, you know, versatile in terms of, you know, battles that could be applied to, you know. Again, this is a Boss Rush Stage 5, so again, very few Vegeta Family category units on this particular stage. It's like the first battle against Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. There's, you know, sections where you do fight against Vegeta, and then toward the end where it's the Super Vegeta battle where you do also face a Vegeta unit there. So again, I do want to be clear that it is limited in terms of scenarios where you see the maximum benefit of this unit. However, at the same time, realistically, like, you're not always going to have that chance to just strictly fight the Vegeta Family type enemies. So with that in mind, I wanted to provide a versatile scenario of options to where you're facing a lot of different types of enemies. You know what I'm saying? So take it for as you will. That's really the purpose of this, is just kind of seeing how versatile this unit could actually be under different settings. So again, we are fighting different type enemies and seeing, you know, what kinds of attack stats and output overall that we're seeing. So even with that, I mean, this guy's doing pretty good. Yes, I do understand that he's getting a lot of support from, you know, various units within the rotation, in particular the Cooler and Kid Buu unit, but I mean, chances are you are going to bring in at least one type of support unit for every team build. I mean, it's just kind of how team building is in general. So again, the purpose of this video is to provide him under the best settings, just to see how well off he is. However, at the same time, I didn't want to restrict it specifically to the Vegeta family category type enemies. So I think it ranges anywhere from, you know, 600,000 to roughly about 850,000, I think, in terms of, you know, the attack stats itself. So, you know, that's pretty good, you know, given that he's really not getting the full benefit of, you know, that secondary passive where he's facing the, you know, Vegeta family category type enemies. So, you know, factoring that in, this unit is actually pretty good as a versatile enough unit to where you could run him, you know, on this category or even the artificial life forms. I think, you know, that category probably needs more help than the transformation boost category. So, you know, it is a free-to-play unit. The grind itself isn't too bad as long as you bring in teams with the artificial life form category. You will get a bonus drop rate, so the grind itself really wasn't that bad for me, and it was relatively straightforward. Now, you will have pockets of time where it doesn't drop the card. It'll just keep dropping the training items, but that goes with any real grinding, you know, for free-to-play units, so that does tend to happen. So again, my personal experience, it wasn't too bad grinding this unit out. Okay, so Dokkan mode type advantage. Let's see how this unit does. So about 1.2 million with the crit. So certainly pretty good output for a free-to-play unit. Again, you know, it's more or less. I think the other thing to think about is, you know, he does also lower attack and defense as part of the super attack. Now, when scenarios do apply where you are fighting against a Vegeta family category enemy, attack and defense drops by 30% on them, you know, the enemy. So, you know, in addition to being able to increase his own attack and defense, the ability to reduce both the attack and defense on the enemies, I mean, that certainly does help out quite a bit in you know, certain conditions, you know, like certain battles. I mean, it's not going to be applied across the board. I think if they did that, the unit would have been too strong. So I understand they had to scale back a little bit. You know, at the same time, I wish it wasn't so damn limited, you know. But overall, in my opinion, definitely a solid unit. I would at least, you know, farm the SA up to max. Go ahead and unlock the dupe pass, you know, with the option of investing the potential orbs if you decide to. You certainly want to have that option just in case, you know. I mean, like I said, the grind itself wasn't too bad, so you might as well go through it. The medals are from, I think, stage 2 and 1. You do have to get that drop item to exchange for one of the medals, but again, it wasn't too bad in my opinion, and it's certainly worth it, I think, to have this type of unit as an option for, you know, a variety of settings. I think it'll definitely come in handy at some point. So again, I went ahead and did it. In terms of, you know, how often I would use him, definitely going to be using him for the metal grind for transforming Vegeta for sure, because he makes things a hell of a lot easier, and that's probably the biggest takeaway from that one. But again, I mean, not a bad unit, really not bad. So, you know, again, grind away. Definitely at least make sure to get the max SA unlocked to do pads. You know, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you invest the potential orbs, but this unit could certainly come in handy at some point, I think, in my opinion. So I think coming up will be against another Vegeta unit, so you will see some benefit of, you know, the passive kick in. So we'll have to take a look and see how he does. Okay, so yeah, we'll close it off and see how he does here against either the Goku or Vegeta unit, since the passive is kicking in. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. I do appreciate you guys watching as always, and definitely stay tuned for the next one coming up. All right, peace out.